I'm Charlotte Zink,
And I'm Ben Zink.
and the pieces we brought to Lafayette are Here and Now and Effloresce. I'll start with Here and Now. There's a figure and an abstract shape, and then where it all really started was the clay piece that I made first. And so I was looking for something to complement this clay. It's kind of a pod or an orb, and it was kind of a gathering together of three different styles and things that we do. So I do a lot of work with figures. This one's a male figure, which I tend to work with the female figure a bunch, but this one, there's a male figure, and then kind of an interesting abstract shape that houses this little seed pod.
Effloresce?
Mm-hmm.
Effloresce, I mean, the flower imagery, but it came from reclaimed or recycled parts. So they're like industrial parts, and it was kind of fun to transform them into something that catches your eye in a non-industrial way.
Marry together a flower and an industrial piece.
Yeah, pipe field cast off, big flange. It's big metal, and it's fun to take it and change it.
I feel that artists, they help people make connections, right? There's a connection of when an artist has an idea and they're constructing or building that concept. There's the connection that happens there. There's the connection where they're working with materials, of the earth or whatever. And then once that piece is created, the people, the viewers who are experiencing it, it creates some connection with them. If it causes them to have a feeling or have a memory or affects their day, right, and connects to them on a deeper kind of heart level. So I feel it does help connect people to ideas, people to people, people to their community, how it's viewed in all its different places, and especially public art that's out there for everyone to view, as opposed to when you go into a museum to see something or into a gallery when it's on the street. It's part of your daily life. You walk past it many times, and so I feel artists help make connections. They help create inspirations. They help us think in new, different ways.
Artists, I mean, for me, the artist in society is a personal thing because by being married to Charlotte, I've grown into this artist role, and it's a different perspective than anything else, and it's a viewpoint that's not A plus B equals C. There's a lot of exploration in areas that I wouldn't be in otherwise. So for me personally, it changes the way I view the world and how I relate to the world. But for outside society and art, I think it's a constant and something that people see in their daily lives and can just think differently, have thoughts that they wouldn't otherwise have. Good, bad, or indifferent, you don't have to like all the art, but just a different way to think for me. And that constant through all of society is really important.
It's really interesting to the collaborative piece of it, because I've always done art, and this metal work that we've been doing together has only been in the past 14 years or so, and so there's a lot of communication and back and forth and concessions, right, and changes. I don't want to say it's out of your control, but it is not only your own hand and your own vision. So you're either doing a good job explaining that and getting to that together, or more often what I find, which is sort of the way life happens, it changes and it evolves. And so it's been interesting. It's been super challenging at times. There's things that work perfectly and you're just off to the races, and there's other ones that it feels like slower steps. And it's amazing how you can see something so clearly, and are you able to explain that and problem solve through the little things that come up, because how you see it and as you really get your hands into something and working with it, it's always changing, so you're constantly making these decisions.
And harder for Charlotte because she usually is the creative, artistic start. She's already seen it. She knows exactly how it's supposed to be, or not exactly, but she has the image of it already before it's even no materials on the table at all. Then you get into like fabrication stuff of that's can't stand up, or that's if you cut all the metal away it'll be too weak, even though it's thick metal, and little things, and that's where the small changes, concessions, I guess they are, structural stuff.
It feels more like an evolution, to route that we take to get sometimes to, you know, where you end up. And oftentimes it is a pleasant surprise, you know, you don't always, the end result doesn't always pan out how you originally thought it, but I think that's sometimes part of the beauty, part of the journey. Arts funding has a really important role because, I mean, I think clearly nothing is created or moved forward without some type of backing. And so I think that financial backing, but more importantly, that you say by funding it, that it is of value and of importance. You're saying that to your citizens and your community, and it encourages the people who are the creatives in your community to come out and feel supported and have a role and have a voice. And I feel like it's important to reflect all of that in a community. As you look back in history, it is their arts that you are curious about someone's society. You know, that's the lasting piece and mark of any generation. And so I think it is really important. And I feel really fortunate living here on the Front Range. I feel like in the state of Colorado, and we are super fortunate to have communities that do not only embrace the arts, but really use it as its champion and leader to tap into the creative voice and the people, you know, that part of their society.
And let that creative voice grow. Funding, public funding especially, is a statement of support, community-based. And, you know, it grows the arts, it flourishes it. Art Street wouldn't have those pieces otherwise.
I think you want the public to approach art with an open heart and an open mind, to allow what that person has expressed to touch a place inside them, and to see how it speaks to them. If it's just form, if it's an idea, if it's a memory, feeling. I think to approach something with an open mind allows that interaction to happen.